Thank you for joining our session today. Getting ready for U.S. study, preparing for new experiences, adjusting to academic and campus life. Congratulations to those of you who have received admission for the upcoming academic year. And for those of you who are considering studying in the future, our guest speakers from Temple University and Kansas State University will share their expertise and answer your questions on the topics you see here in the agenda. Can we share the agenda with our audience, please? And so we will cover several topics of interest that we feel that will be very important for those of you who are planning to enroll in the fall, and those of you who are interested in applying. This will give you a heads up and an opportunity to learn about what it's like to live on campus, and for information about various academics that would be interesting to you and great for you to know before you start your campus experience next semester or in the future. But before we give the floor to our distinguished speakers to introduce themselves and present to our audience today, my colleague Marwa will share with you a brief overview about Education USA and the 5 steps to study in the US. Again, thank you so much for our distinguished speakers today from Temple University and Kansas State University. Marwa?
Thank you so much, Sana. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. So Education USA is the U.S. Department of State network. There are over 430 advising centers in 175 countries and territories. In our country, we have an advising center here in Al-Bira, Ramallah City, and we also have another advising office in Gaza. Of course, we promote U.S. higher education around the world, where we offer free, accurate, comprehensive, and current information about educational institutions in the United States. We offer a range of services. We usually have information sessions with our audience, whether at our office or maybe local centers or local universities and local high schools. We also work closely with our colleagues at the American Spaces. We usually also participate in college fairs and national educational cultural events, and we facilitate visits for U.S. higher education representatives. We usually also connect them with our students, whether they come and visit our office and meet, for example, our cohorts like the Competitive College Club, or they visit, different schools and universities. And we also have, throughout the year, different virtual sessions and webinars where we cover different topics related to the application process and the U.S. higher education system. Your 5 steps to U.S. study is your guide if you want to apply and attend an American university, whether you want to pursue your undergraduate degree or maybe your graduate degree or an ESL program. This is your guide. Of course, you need to start with researching your options. There are over 4,000 accredited U.S. higher education institutions, and it is very important for you to select and choose the best fit universities and colleges. The second step is to finance your studies. You need to understand the total cost of attendance, which will include different things like the tuition and fees, the room and board, personal expenses, health insurance, materials and supplies, and other things. You also need to look for scholarship opportunities if you are interested in applying to any, and you need to understand, based on what you will receive the scholarship or financial aid opportunities. The third step is to complete your application. The application process and preparing yourself for the different requirements takes time. So you need to have a plan, and you need to prepare yourself ahead at least 12 to 18 months before your enrollment date. The fourth step is to apply for your student visa. Also, you need to have a plan and have enough time to prepare yourself and apply for your student visa and receive it, so you can actually travel to the United States to begin your academic program. The fifth and final step is to prepare for your departure. It is very important for you to finalize any arrangements, whether in your home country or with your institution in the United States. So you can find detailed information about the 5 steps to U.S. study on the Education USA website, and the information is divided according to the level of study that you are interested in. If you want to learn more about our upcoming upcoming events, please follow us on our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a YouTube channel where we upload recordings of different sessions or videos that will help you in terms of applying to US universities and colleges. Also, if you have any additional inquiries or need additional resources, feel free to email us at ramallah@educationusa.org. And on Sunday, May 15th, we will have our third session of this series, Getting Ready for US Study. We will have a session with 3 Palestinian students who are currently studying in the US, and they will share their undergraduate experience on transitioning and adjusting to college life in the US. So if you would like to receive the registration link, please feel free to email us or check our Facebook page, and you will find it under the events tab. And now I would like to hand it over to our first guest speaker, Martin from Temple University.
Marwa and Sana, thank you very, very much for making this opportunity available to the students and to those of us who are going to share what I hope will be maybe not expertise, but a little bit of information that would help the students get ready for coming to the United States. To the participants, Sabah al-Khair, Masa al-Khair, wherever you might be, and many, many congratulations to those of you who have already been admitted to schools, and good luck to those who are still pursuing it. So my job this morning will be just a few brief remarks about what you can expect from International Student Services when you arrive at institutions in the United States. The perspective that I will be giving is from a large, comprehensive university. I'll give you a little bit more information about Temple later, but it's important to remember that what we'll be talking, or what I'll be talking about, are services at a large university. Not all universities in the United States have as many, but most of us will have some. Marwa, first slide, please. So the question that you've come to ask, what student services can you find at US universities and colleges? Most of us will be offering the same general programs specifically designed for international students. The first and probably most important, but also the most often skipped, is the orientation. It is essential that international students, when they arrive on a campus for the first time, attend the International Student Orientation Program. All of our universities have orientations. They might take 1, 2, 3, 4 days. But if you are lucky enough to be at an institution that has an international student-specific orientation, I would strongly recommend that you attend that. You will be learning at those orientation sessions information that you would not get at the regular orientations. Most specifically about international student organizations, about all of the visa issues that you'll be responsible for. And it's that last one, the visa issues, that I think will probably be the most important issue as far as keeping you in status in the US. And you're not going to get that from anybody other than your international student office, normally during orientation. All students have access to and are very encouraged to participate in academic advising sessions with their individual academic departments. There are some universities and colleges that require students, domestic and international, to register for classes only through an academic advising office. Other institutions will give you an opportunity to register for yourselves. Even in those cases, however, at least at Temple, we do recommend that people consult with their academic advisors, because it is so easy to go off track. Register for one class and you might have a whole semester gone. So it's really important to stay in touch with your academic advising office. Normally, this would not be through an international office, but again, you could get support from your international office when you're seeking academic advice. Very important, English language support. Large universities like Temple will have individual English as a second language units, where students whose TOEFL or IELTS is not good enough to pursue, to be successful right away, they can take English language courses in the language programs. Temple, for example, we have a Center for American Language and Culture. Students can enroll in that program prior to beginning or while they're in the university. It is essential that you take advantage of any such services available to you, either through a language program or through other kinds of support services. Again, I'm using Temple as an example. Our Department of English has a writing center, and they have in that writing center staff who are trained specifically to assist the second language speaker at Temple. Most of our universities, Kansas State is a large one, so I mean, most of the universities our size will have similar kinds of support, but it is essential that you take advantage of them. And I will say that you should do so as early as your first week. You might come to Temple with a great IELTS score or a great TOEFL score, but that does not mean that your language skills are ready yet for success in an American classroom. Because what you're learning in Palestine, the English that you learn in Palestine, quite frankly, is not the same English you're learning in a US academic classroom. So it's essential, and I'll say this over and over and over, take advantage of all English language support that is available to you. That will be one of the main support systems that you should take advantage of. Academic tutoring is also available to all students, at least on large campuses like ours. All of our academic departments have units where they have tutors available to students. Almost always, these tutoring services do not have any additional fees. They are there for the students. In addition to department academic support, some universities have tutoring centers that are pan-university, that are not discipline specific. So we, for example, have the Student Support Center. Students can go there for all kinds of academic support, regardless of discipline. And then they can go to the discipline, their college or school or their academic department and get even more. Again, I have seen as recently as this semester, students who thought they did not need that kind of support, they failed the first semester, they went and they took advantage of the support available to them, and then their grades improved greatly. Don't think that you have to do this by yourselves. That is exactly what we are here for, specifically helping you in your academic time at Temple, in our case. Special workshops, our Office of International Student Affairs, and I'm sure comparable offices or other large universities will plan events specifically for international students. I think that it's important for international students to remember that while they are part of the whole university community, they have unique needs, or you are the students, so you would have unique needs. And it is essential for our offices, our colleagues, to provide these, what we call wraparound services. So you might see a university event that you would like to go to, but then you go there and you find, well, it's not specific to me. It doesn't help me. It's more for the domestic student. Go to your International Student Affairs office or whatever it's called there and say, can you take that information and make it fit me and my other 1,000 international colleagues here? So that's what we would be able to do with our special workshops. Leadership training also, in our case, comes out of our International Student Affairs office. It is extremely important for us to connect our new students with current students. And we have a program here, and again, many other universities have similar programs. We call it peer-to-peer, where we will match a peer leader, so a student who's been here for a year or more, with a new student. And that peer becomes a leader, if you will, for the new student, leading him through university administration, which you will find, unfortunately, is very difficult, leading her through getting to know the city itself, because some of us, for example, Temple is located in a huge city. You need to learn how to navigate the city. So we have, in our case, again, students who help you do that as soon as you arrive. Mentoring programs can be both, mentoring is teaching, but outside of the classroom. So you could get mentors for your social life here on campus. You can find mentors for your academic life. You can even find a mentor who can guide you through the immigration process through your international services office. So it's important that you take advantage of all of the individuals, the mentors who are available to you. And then finally, career counseling. It is too often the case where students come to a university and then in their fourth year say, oh, wow, now I have to find a job. Well, the fourth year is too late. Career counseling is available to you from your first year at the university that you are going to attend. And I would strongly recommend that you take advantage of the career counseling, if not from your first week here. If you wait until your fourth year, it's too late. All of your cohort members have gotten the jobs that you should be applying for also. So if your university has a career center, either Penn University, as we have at Temple, or in the department or the college that you're in, so discipline-specific career counseling, take advantage of it. They are the ones who have the connections, to use a good Arabic word, bitkun wasta, they have the wasta. So go to them and use the wasta that they have. Please, it is important not to wait until the last minute. Use their experiences. And then this point of career counseling also moves me to my next point. Marwa, the next slide, please. Specifically about employment opportunities. I started the last point by saying, don't wait until you have spent 4 years to start looking for your job. That's not what you should be doing. Your career office at the beginning of your academic career would help you with such things as writing your resume, learning how to communicate with your potential employers. In our office, they would actually conduct interviews for you. So that what we call mock interviews, they will have you in front of a camera. They will interview you like a potential employer would. And then after the interview is over, they will watch the film with you, show you specifically what you did right and what you did wrong. These are essential skills that you're going to have if you want to get employed, not only in the US, but also employment when you go back home. Internships and job fairs. You should start attending job searches, jobs fairs and career fairs, Look for internships, again, as early as you can. And with your career office on campus, they know how to help you search for these. Do it as quickly as possible. And I said earlier that you have university-wide career centers and you have college-specific. Many students will get frustrated if they go to one or the other. So how do you resolve that? You go to both. Don't depend on your college career center and don't depend on the university college center. Depend on both of them because that's why they are here. And then I believe my third slide, if I'm not mistaken, is about how you can actually work in the US. So Marwa, can we see that? There we go. Tamam. Okay. So one of the most important offices that you'll be dealing with when you arrive at a university is your International Student Services. Some people call it the Immigration Office. Some people call it ISS. There are many different kinds of names for it, but in short, it's the Immigration Office. These are the people who will be helping you make sure that you do not violate your immigration status. I'm assuming 90%, 99% of you will be here in either F1 status or J1 status. Most of them will be F1. So what I'm going to talk about for very quickly are opportunities available to you to work in the US. First one is on-campus employment. Every student who enters the US on an F1 or J1 status is eligible to work on the university campus for up to 20 hours per week. I'm going to say that again because campuses don't always know this. Every student in J1 and F1 status is eligible to work on the university campus as far as immigration rules are concerned. Different campuses might have different rules about it, but the regulation for federal government is you are eligible. On our campus, for example, all of our international students they don't all look for and get, but they're eligible for jobs. In my office, 90% of our students who work in our office are international students. So know that that's available to you and take advantage of it. It's outside of your curriculum usually. It's just, student support in an office, library jobs, cafeteria jobs, anything. Again, this would help you, not necessarily in your academic work, but getting familiar with the US environment and frankly, improving your English skills. The other opportunity while you're in your program is called curricular practical training. This is authorization available to you based on the academic program in which you are enrolled. As it says, curricular. So if your academic program has an employment requirement, you are eligible to go to your international office and say, I would like authorization for curricular practical training or CPT. Again, most CPT is a part-time employment opportunity, 20 hours a week, but it must be required by your academic program. And I want to distinguish CPT from pre-completion OPT. So when you're in your program of study, you can also apply for pre-completion OPT. The difference between those is who processes your application and what the requirement is. CPT, as I said, must be based on an academic requirement for employment. OPT, as the word optional implies, is option. So it's not required for your academic program, but it is helpful for you to have an employment opportunity so that you learn more in your field. CPT is processed by your Office of International Services. OPT is processed by the Immigration Service, the federal government. CPT can be authorized in 3 days, for example. OPT takes 3 to 4 months. So the reason I point that out this early is you have to think about how long it takes to get approved. Once you complete your degree, you are eligible for at least 12 months of employment off campus. In science cases, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM, you are eligible for up to 36 months of what's called post-completion optional practical training. This all happens, you apply for this usually once you have a job, because you don't want to waste time on that 12 to 36 months that you have. Again, this is an application that you submit to the Immigration Service, the federal government, so you have to plan in advance. But this is what most people do immediately after completing their degree to let them stay here for 1 to 3 years. Some people use this to pursue H1 status after that. Some people do this and then just go home after they've completed the academic program and their OPT. There is one final way to get authorized to work off campus, very rare, and only in a case of emergency where you have economic hardship. So every student must prove that she has the funds to study in the US. However, the Immigration Service recognizes that there are emergencies that do cause financial hardship. So there's an opportunity to work off campus through this. Again, this goes through your immigration office and then goes up to the federal government. So these are the 5 ways that you can study, work on a university campus or off campus while you are here in F1 status. Those in J, there are very similar ways to do the same thing. And that's it from me. So Marwa, thank you very much. Oh, very quickly, Temple University. We are a very large, comprehensive university located in Philadelphia on the East Coast of the United States. If you need more information about us, you can do that scanning on that little QR code there, or you can contact me and I will put my email address in the chat for direct contact. Thank you very much, Marwa. Thank you very much, Sana, for giving us this opportunity. And best of luck to all of you in your academic careers. Mabruk.
Thank you so much, Martin. And now we can begin with our next speaker.
Thank you so much, Marwa. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And hello, everyone. I'm Nilofer Kamisani from Kansas State University. I'm pursuing my PhD program here at K-State and working as a graduate assistant in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction, College of Education. So today I'm going to tell you about inclusion in the classroom, department, and campus, and adjusting to campus environment and time management, that how international students can adjust themselves in the campus and how they manage their time here. Marwa, yes, thank you. Yeah. So Kansas State University is located in a small town named Manhattan, northeastern part of Kansas State. And Kansas State is landlocked state in the Midwest of the United States. Kansas State University offers a variety of programs of undergraduate programs and graduate programs. So just go explore your interest and study what you love. We have different programs, online programs, or hybrid face-to-face programs, like a master's degree program or PhD or EDD programs, different certifications and advanced programs for licensure. So our DDD program is, EDD program is online program. Yeah, can you please change the slide, Marwa? Thank you so much. Okay, so what is inclusion? Before telling about these two wheels, I'm going to tell you about a little bit about inclusion. That inclusion addresses the role of leaders and their teams in going beyond numerical diversity to ensure that students, no matter what background they have, feel that campus is welcoming, inclusive, and supportive. We can say that inclusion is an ongoing and transformative process of improving education system to meet everyone's needs. Kansas State University has long maintained and demonstrate commitment to diversity and inclusion. It has full educational privileges for all students, regardless of gender, race, and creed. It provides freedom to have different perspectives. The academic environment is pluralistic, that encourages curiosity, open mind, and free exchange of ideas by recognizing the value of every individual. K-State is committed to fostering an intellectually diverse student, faculty, and staff environment that is rooted in respect and fair practices. Okay, so these wheels are resources provided by the campus for all students. These resources are available not only in English language, but in different other languages too, like in Arabic language, like in Chinese language, in Spanish language. So all different languages, students can, have resources available. So resource wheels identify both confidential and non-confidential, confidential and non-confidential resources, campus and community-based resources, and contact information of each resource. So as I said that it's available in different languages, so international students can have facility that they can read in their own language if it's available. Actually, the vision of the university is a university to create a university community in which every individual has equal opportunity to learn, work, and contribute, and where full inclusion and respect for all people, fosters an environment free from discrimination. So Marwa, can we go for another slide? Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so here I would tell you that about the International Student and Scholar Services. So International Student Scholar Services provide immigration services for over 2,200 students from over 100 countries who are involved in different academic programs or in research at Kansas State University. And this Student Scholar Service Center links students to different available resources at K-State, like providing them a campus map, because the international, if they are new here, they could have this a good help that having this map, and they can go wherever they want in the campus. And career center, and obviously English language classes. So not only providing this information, but Student Scholar Service Center links them with that, and providing them information regarding different, the different facilities, I must say, like how to apply driving license, where they can find grocery stores or international food services, what kind of housing options they have, and what kind of health services K-State offers for the international students. And the most important thing is information about dependents, that arranging a spouse's orientation, family-friendly activities. So International Student Scholar Service inform international students not only for themselves, but about their dependents too. So, and another thing, that international graduate students for the fall 2021, we had 665 students, early international students. So International Student Scholar Services arrange different events for the international students to like ISB and like this coffee hour, like BLT. These especially activities are for the international students to introduce their culture, their country, their traditions. Okay, so like for example, BLT is a program for the international students to come and teach their own language to the other students and to the community. Like Coffee Hour is a program for especially for the international community, for the international students to introduce their home country. Okay, so these programs are for the international students and arranging by the ISSS at K-State. Except these, we have international student associations in the campus, like Muslim Student Association, like International Buddies, like in International Coordinating Council, and Intercultural Leadership Council representatives, and World Friendship. So International Buddies is the association which connects local student to the international student. It is very good, the platform to make friends, to mingle with them, to know about the American culture. So, and this association arranges different activities throughout the year, like in fall, in spring. Yeah. So International Coordinating Council is also arranging so many events for the international students purely. Like last year, they had arranged the International Week, and there were a lot of events for the international students to represent their culture, like exhibition. There was exhibition, there was a fashion show, there was there was a talent show. So different events were there. So International Coordinating Council arranging different events for the international students at the campus. Like World Friendship is non-religious and non-political organization for the families, especially for women. Okay, this organization established for American and international women in Manhattan. So it's for the spouses. Sometimes students bring their spouses here, so they don't know the English. If they don't know the English, if they are not familiar with the culture, so this is the platform where they can meet with other people, other international people, local people, and spend their time wonderfully. Can we please go for another? Yes, thank you so much, Marwa. Okay, in this slide, I have information about what does inclusion look like in the classroom or in the department. So in the classroom, I would say that when instructors or a faculty create safe, inclusive atmosphere in the classroom or in the department, they consider different things. Like they consider syllabus, course content, behavior, background knowledge, and skills of the students. This way, the learning environment make students comfortable in the class and in the department as well. So Kansas State University offers a variety of programs for international students. As I told you in the previous slide, that there are different programs for the international students and faculty to get awareness of different cultures. If they know about the different cultures and their behavior would be like that according to them. So the students have opportunity to tell the community about their culture, because awareness of the culture is very important. K-State has an action plan for more exclusive campus, and it focuses on 11 distinct action steps to address racial and social injustice issues in our university. Especially Department of Curriculum Instruction creates new programs and worked on the existing programs that enhance diversity. The vision of the statement is preparing educators to be knowledgeable, ethical, caring decision makers in a diverse and changing world. Like providing them professional development opportunities in the form of summer institutes, like book studies, guest lectures, workshops for the faculty, staff, and graduate teaching assistants, and for the students too. And another step they are taking, recruitment and retention of diverse faculty and staff by taking efforts. A number of offices administrators are taking to recruit and retain talented individuals from diverse background, and encourage faculty for providing safe and productive and student-centered learning environment. Yeah, so for the professional development, faculty learn different things, that how to interact with the international students in the class, because sometimes they feel they struggle, or they feel uncomfortable in the class, so like that. So for this, like they learn the students' names and learn how to pronounce, and set aside time for relationship and housekeeping. So like these different kind of activities they arrange in the classroom to make the students comfortable. Yeah, okay. Can we go for the last slide? Okay, this slide shows that adjusting to campus environment and time management. So in the beginning, I would say that adjusting to campus environment, I told you that so many different activities are in the campus for the international students. So when international students arrive here in the United States in the campus, they should not, bound themselves in the boundaries. Like they should go outside, mingle with each other, talk to everyone, and share their, the opinions, their culture, their traditions, according their schedule plan, whatever they can avail, opportunity they should avail. So for us, telling our own stories and listen other stories is a good way to mingle with each other. So the way everyone will be familiar with different culture and will learn about different norms, it is like for me, it is like do respect and get respect. So don't bound yourself, just meet different people, learn languages, because we have a lot of opportunities in the universities to learn about different cultures, to learn different languages, to meet different people, to know about themselves, so like this. So another thing which is very important, I would say be on time in the classroom or wherever you want to go, wherever you have to go, just be on time. Like for example, for me, in my culture, if I'm late for an event, like if I'm late, that's okay for me. For half an hour or 1 hour late, that's fine for me. That's fine in my culture. But in United States, it's not okay. We have to be on time. For example, we should be very conscious that we have to reach in the class on time. We have to reach for different activities, for the appointments, for anything. We have to be, on time. So always, whatever, next thing is whatever issues, whatever problems, if you have to share it with, discuss with your teacher. If you cannot make an appointment or, cannot make an invitation, but you have to share your, the problems or issues with the teacher. They are very flexible, but you have to take a step first. So, and time, so I said that time management is also very important, and for the time management, next thing is here, the trend is daylight saving time. So an adjustment in clocks allow for more daylight hours during the spring and during the summer months. So daylight saving time, ends at 2 a.m. on the last Sunday in October, and all clocks are moved backward 1 hour, like 2 a.m. become 1 a.m. So like this, the vice versa, like the same way, daylight saving time begins at 2 a.m. on the first Sunday of April, and all clocks moves forward 1 hour, like 2 a.m. become 3 a.m. So these things are very important to know about for the international students when they arrive here and face cultural shock and, different new things around them. So that's it. That's for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nilufar. And now I'm going to hand it over to Mona and Garciela.
Thank you very much. We're so excited to be here with you, and Mona and I will do our best to help with the excitement, but we also know sometimes the confusion or the fear that comes with traveling abroad. So I am the Managing Director for Global Education Outreach, and Mona Menken, that's here as well. She's our Executive Director. So next slide, please. So just to give us some common language to build on, we will try to define some terms. So for example, what is culture? For the sake of our time together, we're going to say that culture is a way of life, a product of our history, our customs and traditions. And it comes from living in a specific environment. So if that's what we're going to define culture as, what do you think is culture shock? I'm sure everybody has heard it before. Let me see if you're paying attention. Everybody write it in the chat real quick. What do you think is culture shock? What comes to mind? Are they awake? Are they awake,
Yes.
Mona?
Adjust
Okay,
to new
good.
things, challenges. Very good.
Yes, very good. That is exactly what
Something
it is.
different.
Mhm, it is
Meeting
the
new
insight.
people.
Yep. Very good. So you guys are right on it. It is the
Customs and
impact of moving
traditions.
from a familiar culture to one that is unfamiliar. Very good. Next slide, please. Thank you very much for participating. So with culture shock, a lot of times comes in different stages because it's a roller coaster of emotions. So you hit it right on. And as we all know, when it comes to emotions, not everything is super nice and neat, right? We go all over the place with those. So for example, for stage 1, we might be in the honeymoon stage, which is exactly what it sounds like. Everything's new, everything's exciting, everything's perfect. I made the best decision of my life coming here, right? From there, sometimes we can move to being hostile or irritable. That's when you start missing your family, you start missing your food. You know, if you go somewhere where you don't speak the language, you start getting frustrated about that. It's all normal. Don't feel bad. We all go through it. For stage 3, then comes a little bit of an adjustment, right? Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. I can laugh at myself for saying the wrong word and the local people laughing at me, right? And then finally, adaptation. And with adaptation, the thing I really want to highlight is that we are not talking about assimilation. We don't want you to stop being you. We want you to keep being you, but then also feel comfortable being in the same environments that we are. And just from personal experience, because Mona and I had the opportunity to go to Colombia about 2 weeks ago, I would even say that culture shock comes like in a spectrum, because when I went to Colombia, since I'm Mexican American, I did not feel like I had as much of a culture shock as when I went to China. Because in Colombia, I knew the language, I felt pretty familiar with the culture, the food. That's a whole other session. We ate our way through Colombia. But when I went to China, I did not understand anything. I could not read anything. I knew that if I got lost from my group, I would not find my way home. So I would say those are two ends of the culture shock spectrum. And I say all this to tell you, we all go through it. You will go through it. That is fine. Mona, Nilafar, Martin, and I are here in our institutions with services available for you to help you through that. So next slide, please.
So what can cause this? Gracie and I talk about this subject a lot because you guys know just as well as I do, I'm sure we're talking to people that are very familiar with this. There's different things that can cause this kind of stress and culture shock. Obviously, the social roles that we play are different in different cultures. You might see, you know, in Middle Eastern culture, myself, I actually grew up in all three cultures. My parents are from the Middle East. I grew up in South America, and now I live in the United States. My husband is American. And so, you know, the social roles are different across cultures, right? When I first moved here, I found some of the cultures, some of the Anglo cultures to be very cold and kind of reserved and standoffish. Sorry. Sorry. And so there's relationship stress. You know, if you're in a relationship with your spouse, even with your parents, sometimes that can cause some stress. You're far. The values are different in different cultures. Values change across cultures. The rules of behavior or the rules of engagement are different. The way we do things in the Middle East is very different than the way they do things here. I remember a group came from interestingly, Russia here. And the first day they arrived, somebody asked them, "Are you hungry?" And they said no, because, you know, in the East, we say no, your immediate reaction isn't yes, give it to me. We always say no first. And then they said, okay. And then they didn't feed them. So we came and we found them in their rooms eating their crackers and snacks that they had brought with them on the road, because the rules of engagement are different. So we had to talk about how in the United States, when somebody, you know, you have to say what you want or they won't, you know, they don't here in the West, it's a little bit different as far as reading into things. We tend to read into things more in our cultures. The climate, the cultural climate as well as the actual climate, you will find that the weather changes. You know, we're used to maybe living in hot, humid climates, and we come and you know, there's snow and it's cold. That impacts that kind of culture shock and stress. And of course, the language barrier sometimes, even though maybe some of us have a good proficiency level, once it's spoken to you all the time, 24 hours a day, all the way around you, you will find that may cause a little bit more, you know, of a higher stress environment and more shock. Next slide, please. So let me make sure I'm on, this one's mine. So it can look like this. This is what it can look like. You may want to say, you know what, this is not for me. I'm going home. I do not want to be here. I'm going home. I'm not comfortable here. That's usually our first reaction. Go back to where we're more comfortable, right? We might start criticizing things, criticizing what's around, and oh my goodness, what's wrong with these people? Why can't they understand? Why are they dressed like this? Why are we talking this way? Why are they so rude? I remember that was one that because people are direct, sometimes that can be perceived as rude. And then you also may tend to feel isolated or lonely and not feel a connection to where you are. So sometimes that's what it will look like when you're in this state of culture shock. Next slide, please. So what can help? When you make the decision to come to another country, you guys know that you have to travel with an open mind. You have to be prepared for what comes, right? Don't compare. There's no comparison. We're all different. Every culture is very different. Even if you go to the next country over, or the next state over, you may find that the food is different, the way the accent may be different, or what have you. So don't compare, just soak it up, enjoy it, be in the moment, and accept the differences. And know that you are contributing to that as well. You are part of that education process. Just as much as you're here soaking it up and getting yourself exposed to it, you are exposing some of other people to your culture. So don't just see it as you going across the world. You are bringing across the world here with you. So don't let go of what is you, but at the same time, travel with an open mind and be ready to educate as well as learn. Next slide, please.
Thank you very much, Mona. So now we have talked about the resources on our campuses. We have talked about all the ways we want to make you feel at home, and we want to help you throughout anything you're going through. Now we're going to talk a little bit about communicating with your faculty. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell my students, the same thing I tell my kids. No teacher wants to fail you. We all want to help you succeed. That's why we went into teaching. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Narrow down what you want, because as much as I try, I cannot read minds. I keep trying and I can't. So just tell us what's going on. Tell us what's bothering you. Tell us what you need help with. Maybe we didn't explain something clear enough. We want to know that so that we can help you be successful at the end when you have to do your projects or when you have to do your tests. Check in regularly instead of only in extreme cases, just the really quick, how are you doing? How's it going? I like to ask follow-up questions if I know my students have gone through something or their parents were sick. How is that going? Just so I know what you're going through. And then you'll want to introduce yourself, maybe explain that you're an international student and that you might need a little more clarification. Your professor will appreciate that, because then they will know to ask or to be in the lookout or to make sure that you're doing okay. So be accountable as well, because that's probably one of the hardest things to adjust to in college, is that you are kind of on your own in terms of your schedule. Now, I say that, but of course you can always go ask for help. I have done that before. We sit down for an hour and make sure your schedule is set with work time, study time, sleep time, fun time. So again, we want to help you succeed. And then aim to be professional in both electronic and in-person interactions. So we do not want to email our professors like we text. That is one thing that we're working on a little bit more, and that's something to keep in mind. Also listen and then express gratitude. A lot of my colleagues, a lot of us, we will take time. We want students to come see us. And, you know, it's always nice for people to be thankful, and we're thankful that you stopped by too. So I just want you to keep this in mind. We have services on our campus. We have services in our departments. Please ask questions, and your professor wants to see you succeed. So don't be afraid to approach them. So next slide, please. And actually, because we want to give you time for questions, this is a quick little video that we want to show you. I don't know if you can do.
Oops, I just realized my camera's off. So this was an initiative, and I think Dr. Miller can also speak to this, that the United States universities, most US universities launched a few years ago about how most all universities generated videos about how people are welcome on their campus. So this is K-State's little short few-minute video on the You Are Welcome campaign. I think Dr. Miller, your campus, I'm sure, generated one as well, but we just thought we'd share this little video with everyone to speak for all US universities, that no matter where you're from, no matter what your background, you are welcome here.
Namaste.
Hi.
Hello.
أهلا وسهلا.
Marhaba.
Bienvenidos. Konnichiwa. Hello. Goeiedag.
Hello and welcome to K-State.
Okay, sorry, that's me trying to do two things at once.
We are glad you're here.
You are welcome here in Manhattan, Kansas.
The Little Apple. We care about you. We are here for you.
For you.
Because you are a part of our family.
We are family.
Somos familia. 我们是一家人.
আমরা একটা বিশাল পরিবার. We are family.
We are a big purple family. It's about the Wildcat way.
It's about education and research.
It's about diversity.
And no matter your country of origin,
No matter your religion.
no matter your visa status,
No matter your race.
Your gender.
Or your sexual orientation.
You.
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 You are welcome here.
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 You are welcome here at K-State. K-State에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Unade welcome to here, K-State.
You are welcome here.
Welcome to Kansas State University. I look forward to seeing you around campus.
Yay, that's my favorite video. I get goosebumps every time I watch it. And it doesn't matter which university's video I watch. I love these You Are Welcome Here videos. And one last thought, Marwa, before we end, I just wanted to take a moment. We have a partner institution in your area, Al-Azhar University. And Mr. Montaser is here with us today. He joined to support our talk with your students. They have an American Center at their campus as well. So tap into that. It's very, very helpful to tap into these resources as well, and that you guys have on the ground with several of these questions that you guys asked. They are definitely a location that you guys can tap into to get support on the ground as well. In addition to, of course, Education USA, I'm their #1 fan. So.
Mona, you're their #2 fan. I'll give you that.
Okay. I'll bump myself down, Dr. Miller. Thank you.
And actually, thank you for the You Are Welcome Here. That was a campaign that Temple started in 2016, and we were so happy to see so many universities join us. And yes, your video is goosebump
worthy.
Exactly.
You see, you just taught me something. I didn't realize it was Temple's initiative, but what a wonderful initiative. And I am so glad that K-State got on board, and so many other universities did as well, because it is very important that people know that sometimes political views don't necessarily represent those of us and the whole country, and especially U.S. education institutions who are welcoming to all, for sure.
As you can see behind me, we have a carpet in our office that also says the same thing every day. People walk into the office and see this. Not everybody reads Arabic, but they all understand the concept. So yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you, Dr. Miller.
Wonderful. I think our time is up, unfortunately, and I don't want to take too much of your important time. There were a few questions left. We will definitely reach out to our audience and send them a follow-up email and answer those questions that were not answered, just a few. And so for those who have stayed with us for the end of the session, this is our contact information, our social media platforms. Email ramallah@educationusa.org. We will send you all a follow-up email. And if we missed your question, we will definitely answer it through our email contact with you. And again, thank you so much, Martin, Gracie, Mona, Nelfar, and Marwa, and all of you who have joined us today. It was a learning experience for me. And for Marwa as well, I'm sure. Thank you so much for this vast array of information and guidance and tips. And we look forward to connecting with you in future sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sana. Thank you, Marwa.
Thank you.
Thank you. Allah Salmak. Bye.
Bye.